So now we need to see Satan doing some false prophesizing and see what that's all about. And another thing I'd like to kind of throw at some of you is, how long you guys think the Catholic Church has been around? Because a lot of people, that's just it, who the false prophet is for them. It's the Catholic Church. It's the Pope. Well, that doesn't work scripturally. It doesn't even work intelligently. How do you think that this deceptive system got this way? It was because of the spreading of the word of this false prophet. And we should understand that there's other systems that have fallen too. And the Bible does clarify that. When I'm talking about other systems, other worlds, there's other fallen princes. The Bible clarifies that. And it's going to fit in when we understand about what Satan does and how he is the false prophet, not only to this world, but other worlds also. See, this false prophet thing is a lot bigger than the minds or the interpretations that many people want to give it. It exceeds the ages in which you currently live, in which the historical interpretation has been given. It goes back further, way beyond Catholicism. There's an original false prophet in the spirit, and it's Satan. Now we're going to find out his identity through the Bible, and this is how we're going to do it. This is going to be the book of Job, chapter 1. Very, very famous scripture. And after this, it could become a little more famous. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Doth Job fear God for naught? Hast not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side, that has blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land? And he says, But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. False prophecy number 1. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power, only upon himself. Put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. So we see the false prophet of Satan is prophesizing about man, and he says in his next false prophecy concerning man, And Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thy hand, but save his life. So the first thing you need to understand is this Lord that Satan is talking to is not the Father. Okay? But we'll talk about what that is here in a second. But this is really symbolic and allegory, but it's built around a real understanding and a real event. This is a real event of Satan coming before this council of the sons of God. But what you should at least recognize in this instance is that Satan is prophesizing, and he's prophesizing falsely about mankind. And at this point, what's going to be very important, which is going to lead us to the next verse, is this description. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. That's going to be the big key that we'll just get to real quick, and then we'll talk about this further. This is going to be chapter 28. This is going to tell us about that council of the sons that he was with, and then it's going to describe a little better about this walking up and down. Thou art anointed cherub that covereth, and I have set thee so. Thou wast upon the holy mountain of God. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire.